Hello, everyone, and welcome to Elevate Your Business. I'm Ed Jarecki, and I'm excited to guide you through today's episode. It's designed to inspire and empower you on your journey to business success. Today, we have with us Dr. Peggy Woods. Dr. Peggy is renowned efficiency coach and CEO of Right Now Publishing Company, Inc. She specializes in helping busy entrepreneurs write best-selling books quickly, enhancing their credibility and influence. With a rich background as a ghostwriter, author, and international keynote speaker, Dr. Woods believes that every story has the power to change lives. Since starting her writing journey in 2007, she has inspired countless individuals to uncover their purpose through writing. Driven by her passion and a divine calling, she's on a mission to help others share their narratives. Join us as we explore her journey and discover how you can start crafting your own impactful story. Peggy, it is absolutely wonderful to see you again. How are you doing?
Oh, I am great. Thank you for inviting me. I can't wait to get started. It's always a pleasure being with you.
My pleasure, my honor. We have had the opportunity over the last several weeks to get to know each other. I think you've got an awesome business. I think you're an awesome person. And so, to start with, for our audience, could you share a little bit more about yourself and your business?
Well, in the early 2000s, if you don't mind, I'll have to tell you a story, and I'll make it brief, but it'll tell you how I came to this point. But in the early 2000s, I had been married for quite a while, and I married young. My husband and I had three beautiful children, but what most people didn't know is most of the time it was abusive. And so my husband used to call me all kinds of names, and he hit me if I didn't agree with him. You see, he was what we call narcissistic. And so in that relationship, I lost my voice. I lost my identity. And, I felt like a prisoner in my own home. So in an effort to save our marriage, I decided to write him a poem and put it in a letter. Well, I wrote him the poem and he ignored it. But for me, it was therapy. Oh my goodness, I couldn't wait to come home every day from work and write. And that's what I would do. I'd also start speaking poetry to women groups. And, as I'm reading, I'm looking down reading, and it's so quiet. And I look up, and the women are weeping because, it was inspiring and therapeutic for them as well, although they didn't know really what was going on. So one day he came to me. He says, I read your stuff. I don't want you to write it anymore. Matter of fact, I want you to throw it away. Tear it up and throw it away. And I'm thinking, I could I couldn't do that because Ed, I had finally found just a little piece of myself after all of those years. And I wasn't willing to go to throw it away. So after that, and my kids were grown, I decided to leave him. I finally found the courage after 28 years to leave him. And I went on and to become a journalist, to publish 5 books, to become a speaker. And a lot of the books have to do with overcoming, because I felt, God gave me, helped me to overcome. And when I did that, I knew that I was destined to write. I was not only destined, I was anointed in a church, in a group by an ordained person. He anointed me for business, and I was appointed to write. And so I started writing our publishing company in 2007. And my first official job was ghostwriting for someone. And so I worked a full-time job, up until 2019. But in 2019-20, I'm working full-time helping busy entrepreneurs like you and I to write their best-selling books because not only do they gain credibility, leverage their influence, but they can leave a legacy.
What an incredible story, Peggy. I absolutely appreciate that and appreciate you sharing that with our audience. And so, through that journey, how do you define success today?
Today, success, well, today, well, back then, success was, raising my kids and getting a job or having a job and really defining what I wanted and achieving that. And today's success is still defining what I want, achieving it. But it's not so much about me and what I want, but it's about other people. I'm inspired to do what I do because I know that people have been healed, lives have been changed, and maybe some lives have been saved because they were able to write the story. And I was just an instrument in that journey. So
Love
that's
it.
just,
And of course, you already mentioned kind of your definition of success has evolved, and that journey is always wrought with challenges. So, what are one or two of those key challenges and the lessons learned that you could pass along to our audience?
well, when you're on your journey, well, first of all, I just have to acknowledge that God has really helped me through a lot of challenges and maybe saved my life because again, my husband he actually went after me and I had to go in hiding. But also along the journey to success with success is people. You want to make sure you have two things. You want to make sure you have the right people around you. And I put coaches high up on the ladder. I mean, because if it wasn't for these various coaches I have, these mentors, I wouldn't be even where I am today. Because you think you know how to do it. You're all excited. I'm going to have this business. I'm going to do this. And I know exactly what I'm going to do. But you literally come to your desk and sit down and say, oh, shoot, what am I supposed to be doing now? That's what I would say. And then I would, have my calendar. I'm like, okay, what am I? You really have no idea. So I would say to definitely make, my husband is my biggest encourager when I say, I can't do it. He's looks at me like, you? What are you talking about? So I'm like, yeah, I need, so we need that. So those are the two tips I would give to you.
Absolutely love
Yeah.
it. And
Mhm.
giving our conversation towards innovation, how are you leveraging innovation? Where do you see leveraging innovation to help drive your business and life success?
Well, unfortunately, COVID, it brought in more digital or more online presence. Whereas we were meeting people one on one, face to face or group meetings, we were doing more of that. But now, because of the video or Zoom and all the other platforms, streaming platforms, I'm able to reach more people. I'm able to reach people around the world. Some of my clients don't, none of my clients live near me. None of them. All of them live on the East Coast, Central Canada, all over. And so that has really made my business grow exponentially because I can use my time in one place and see a lot of people at one time. And diversity has helped me to understand cultural differences and even time zone differences, right? So you have to adapt to time zone differences. But I love the fact that I can reach more people virtually. I do virtual networking as well. I don't use email marketing. I use text marketing. So I only text to a warm market. It's not a random text. So I build my list, but through technology, right? A giveaway, which I have something to give away if I don't mind at the end of the show. I'll give something away, but I know I give it to people who want it because if you don't want it, you don't have to text the phone number and get the free item. And so like people do that on the internet, they do it on their website. I use that automation to help propel my business. And one other way I used it more recently is when we launched our book. I was in a book project, we launched our book, and we all came together, we were in a big room, we had all the synergy going, and we did get number one bestseller, but they were like texting one on, going through the phone list, texting, and I just wrote a message and hit the button. I mean, 3 minutes, I don't know, 5 minutes maybe, to do what would take them, they never finish the whole day, right? So technology is great. It's great.
And I know that we've talked about some of your upcoming projects. Anything you want to share about those?
Sure, I'm finding through coaching and through technology that the best way to multiply yourself, which you can really do nowadays, is to have a group coaching or to have a curriculum that you can put online. So there's a problem in my business, and the problem is, according to a statistic that it says 97% of people who start writing a book will never finish it. And to me, that's a sad statistic for the reasons that I've named before. It's important. So my goal is to defy those odds, right? At least in my business. And so I'm going to start a program called the Weekend Book, or How to Write Your Book in a Weekend. Now, I used to be a teacher, so I can write curriculum. And all I have to do is break down my mental process and put it into the curriculum, because I can write a book in a day. But there's a gift and there's a process, right? So I help you through the how. You just have to know what you want to write, why you want to write it. And when you come into the group, what you want to write, why you want to write it, who you want to write it to. And then I have, templates. I have ways to show you how to get it published. It can be a publishable book. It'll be a small book, but it'll be publishable. And again, you start it, because I find that most of my clients, they write the book, they're writing another one. They want to keep it going. So that's one of them. And then I have my master class where it's 6 months start to finish, and it's weekly. So I have that coming up at the beginning of next year. The weekend one will be next month.
Absolutely love it. I know I had on my bucket list to write a book for many decades, and I just had my first one published 3 months ago, and I'm working on my second one. So I get it. And
Yeah.
so glad that we connected, and you've already given me a couple of tidbits. I appreciate that so much. So for anybody out there that's looking to write their own book, call Dr. Peggy. Absolutely.
I'd love to help you. And if you don't have time, I can write it for you too. So
Final thoughts for the audience. If there was one takeaway that you wish them to have that they really should consider as part of their business and life success, what would that be?
well, besides writing a book, right? But it came to me this morning. I thought about 3 words. I thought about wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And wisdom, the beginning of wisdom comes from the reverence of God. And understanding, it says, in all you're getting, get understanding. So I believe knowledge is important. Understanding one another. Let's seek to understand and not be so much understood. And then wisdom. Wisdom comes with time, and it comes with positivity. Through the word, it comes from the Lord, but it comes over time. So take your time and get wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Absolutely love that. Any final thoughts?
Just if if I always thought about writing a book, don't think you can do it, please do it. Write your book. Don't take it to the grave with you, because the person that needs to hear your story will never hear it. And so you don't want it to die with you. Your story matters. You could save a life, save a business, or save a soul.
So thank you for that message. And I want to thank you all for joining us today, with a special thanks to Dr. Peggy Woods for sharing her insights and success tactics. We hope you feel inspired and motivated to tackle entrepreneurial challenges with innovation and adaptability. Remember, success is personal. Define it for yourself. But always remember, embrace change, seek growth, and adapt to the ever-evolving business landscape. Thanks again to Peggy and to all of our listeners, and we'll see you next time as we continue exploring more stories from incredible entrepreneurs. Stay resilient, stay innovative, and have a wonderful day, everyone.
Bye.